possible. A feature film shot mostly here in Dorset is to be finally released after being on hold because of the coronavirus pandemic. Lawrence After Arabia tells the story of the last years of T.E. Lawrence's life. And I believe you have some connection to the aforementioned T.E. Lawrence.
But let's spend a couple of minutes talking about this, shall we?
The funeral of Mr. T.E. Shaw, formerly Colonel Lawrence, will take place at Morton Church, Dorset.
Known at the time of his death as Thomas Edward Shaw, better known to the rest of the world as Colonel Lawrence of Arabia. None of the other witnesses observed a car. Could you have been mistaken, perhaps?
No, sir.
Lawrence After Arabia is a movie we've spoken about on the show a bit in the past, but also a bit ago. What with the pandemic and stuff, it is finally seeing cinemas in the not-too-distant future. We can talk to producer and director Mark Griffin, who's with us now. Morning, Mark.
Morning, Steve. How are you?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's my birthday, so, you know, I'm a bit more...
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy than usual. Okay, let's do brass tacks, shall we? Because we've spoken about Lawrence After Arabia previously, but for those who are new to that, and it's not been for a while, so for those who are new to the movie, do you want to just explain the premise?
Absolutely. Yeah, we last spoke 3 years ago, just as we started filming. About October 2018. The film follows the last year of Lawrence's life and looks at the crash. It looks at it as an accident and a possible assassination. Then follows the aftermath of that crash, and you get to make up your own mind as to whether what happened to Lawrence after that crash.
And am I right in saying that the film has effectively been finished for a while now, and you're one of these, another unlikely thing affected by the pandemic?
Correct. It was originally finished in January 2020, and we were going to go for a premiere in May 2020, which would have been 85 years after Lawrence's death. Unfortunately, of course, we got COVIDed, and speaking to the cast and crew, we just said, look, we could either go straight to streaming like a lot of movies do, but we said, no, we want a proper launch for this film. So we held on, and it gets its premiere on the 9th of October at the Lighthouse Pool. Yay!
I'm thrilled for you. I wonder what that has been like as a director, sat with a film that is quote unquote finished for 18 plus months. To what extent did you have to fight the urge to tinker? I mean, did you even fight that urge?
Yes, fought the urge to tinker. We kind of put it in a box almost, and I didn't touch it. I didn't look at it. I mean, I was actually working on a couple of other projects in parallel. One which was a documentary, and now a book which looks specifically just at the crash. So in the film, of course, we can only cover the crash in just a few minutes of film. But the book and the documentary, which will be in parallel, hopefully out late next year, starts to look forensically at what happens, forensic crash investigation, archaeology on the crash site as well. So that project is gaining momentum now, and I kind of put the bare bones of that together while we're in lockdown. So yeah, it was time well spent, I think.
Cool. Well, obviously keep talking to us about that. We're interested.
Yeah.
And it's not just cool that you've got these screenings there right across Dorset, understandably. If you go to lawrencethemovie.com, you'll find out more. I wonder what it was about the story that kind of interested you, Mark, because, you know, this is what's kind of got you into filmmaking. Was it that you were looking for something about which to make a film, or had you somehow had your head turned by Lawrence's story and thought, right, that's it, I'm going to change my life direction and start movie making as a result of my love of T.E. Lawrence?
It actually goes back to when I was 10 years old, and I ended up going into St. Martin's Church. I was a little geeky
Wareham,
kid, in Wareham, and seeing Lawrence's effigy and speaking to a guy in there who was cleaning the effigy. And we got talking, and he said, yes, he died in a crash near Bovington. And I said, was it an accident? And he said, well, not all accidents are accidental. And that got me going. So 50 years later, I don't know, 45 years later, I'd written a radio play which morphed into a screenplay and now a film.
That effigy is just brilliant, isn't it? It was, am I right? It was meant for Westminster Abbey, but for political reasons, kind of didn't end up there. And I sort of feel like I love St. Martin's, but the fact that it's maybe not the most accessible of churches in Dorset is a real shame. You know, you kind of have to go on a bit of a pilgrimage to go and be able to see it.
Yeah. Well, yes, there was Westminster Abbey, then Salisbury Cathedral, then Winchester, and then finally they said, well, we've got a bit of room in this little church in Wareham. But it keeps, I'm told it keeps St. Martin's roofed and heated, so it makes money for the church, which is great.
Well, good luck with everything to do with the movie. I'm very excited to see it myself and learn out find out a bit more about my old uncle.
Yeah,
Tom.
come to the premiere. Hope we can get to one of the screenings, Steve.
Yeah,
be happy to see you there.
Really nice to talk to you, and glad that it's finally down off the shelf. Mark Griffin, producer and director of Lawrence After Arabia. As I say, to find out more about the movie and when it's screening, Lawrence the movie, obviously Lawrence with a W.com. It's the place to go.